You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Oh, look. Look. Here we go now. Happy Monday, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me, see me, all that good stuff. We are live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter for our weekly recap of the Married to Medicine Season 12, their season finale. We also got to see a preview of the Married to Medicine reunion. I talked a little bit about it, I believe. I don't remember when or where, but I did talk about it when it came out. So be sure to check out some of the content here on our YouTube channel. Today, it really feels all about medicine because, as you know, you may have seen the link for later. I have a special guest. Dr. Frida is going to be dropping by talking about all the things in regards to pop culture and medicine. We're going to be getting into that. I can't wait to talk about it. Thank you, Kendra. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat. Hey, Judy. Judy's in the building. Judy, is that you? What picture is that, Judy, that I'm looking at on the Twitch? Hey, Daphne. Hey, Miss Parker. Looking good in Banana. Hey, Banana. I still have not opened the package. So for those of you that were here on Saturday with me when I was live and were wondering when I was going to open that package that Banana Republic gave me, I have not even opened it yet. You also see my Oscar. Shut up. First of all, I just want to say this before we get into Married to Medicine. Congratulations to all the winners last night, including Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler. Yes, they set the record for the most nominations ever for the Academy Awards, and they should have definitely won more. For those of you, for the big winner last night, what's the name of that damn movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? Another Day, Another Dollar? Shout out to Tiana Taylor. She looked amazing, and apparently she was getting somebody together on that red carpet. I don't know, somewhere in the Oscars, she was getting someone together. You could take the girl out of Harlem, but you can't take the Harlem out of the girl. Watch out. And whoever it was, I blame you, because all I've ever seen with Tiana is good energy. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But congratulations on your nomination and the success and everything that Tiana Taylor has been having during his career. Tiana, I don't understand why you were giving why you put the director of your movie, Another Day, Another Dollar. I'm sorry. One battle after another. Thank you, Nacho Twist. Thank you, y'all. But I don't know why she put him in a headlock, but they won Best Picture. I have not seen the movie, so it's hard for me to say they didn't deserve it. I know a lot of people are saying that maybe because you've seen both movies. I have not seen that movie, but I will say that I've seen Sinners like 4 times, and it was such an incredible movie with such incredible meaning. Congratulations on the records that they broke with that movie, both at the Oscars during awards season and even before that at the box office. The people have spoken and said that Sinners was the movie of the year, was the best picture of the year. Congratulations to all of the winners, including, so Sean Penn didn't show up for his Oscars. He didn't do any of the press run that everyone said that Monique had to do in order to win her Oscar, but she still won anyway. Well, I guess Sean Penn didn't have to do it either, huh? Delroy, in my book, I hadn't seen whatever movie Sean Penn was in this year, but Delroy, you were the heart of Sinners for me. You were probably one of the best parts spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie now, I'm spoiling it for you. When you died in Sinners, I was like, damn. Like, it felt like I felt that. Like, when you were first introduced in the movie, I was like, who is this character? And then when you died at the end and you died for them to save other people's lives. Congratulations to everyone, including Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan has been acting since he was a young boy, now a man. And when you learn about all the things that he did in order to create those 2 characters, yes, he played 2 characters. When you learned the things that he did to differentiate those 2 characters, you were like, oh no, he deserves this win. He went to In-N-Out. Someone said that's so LA coded. He went to In-N-Out with his Oscar Yes, he went to In-N-Out, the burger joint, after he won. Congratulations. Congratulations to Ryan Coogler and your entire team. Congratulations to Ryan Coogler's college roommate, who he has collaborated with, won for best score. So they went to college together. They've remained friends, and they've worked together multiple times since then. So they've really built together. And last night they won Oscars together. I could cry right now. Is there a full moon? Oh, maybe that's my Cancer rising. It's so beautiful. That's such a beautiful thing. What else? Who hosted last night? I did not watch. I sort of was in and out of it because I was watching Married to Medicine. Was there no host? I will say this. Timothy Chalamet. I know his name. Shut up. We're going to call him Timothy Chalamet. I had no idea, Timothy Chalamet, that... Okay, so he's been going viral. He's dating Kendall? No, he's dating the other one. What's the other one's name? Not Kendra. What is going on with the names today? They're such a non-factor. Anyway, it doesn't matter who he's dating. Kylie, thank you, Dale. Thank you, Twitch fam. Because Twitch is like in real time. There's a delay with everyone else. Okay, so you saw that clip that was going viral with Timothy Chalamet. That makes me giggle. I'm laughing at myself. So Timothy Chalamet was talking about how ballet and opera, no one's watching that, no one cares about that. So people have been dragging him all week for that. But here's the crazy part about that. Misty Copeland, prime ballerina, he used her to promote the movie that was nominated and did not win one Oscar last night. He used her to promote the movie at the time, and then he had the nerve to say that to Matthew McConaughey. What? So they've been dragging him all week, and it was kismet at the top of the Oscars. They had the Sinners performance. Sidebar. Did y'all see when the white vampires from Sinners randomly showed up during that performance? I got shivers down my... I was like, ooh. That's how good of actors that they were. Were they nominated? They should have been. Because I saw them during the performance. I was like, oh. I was like, what is going on? Anyway, but you saw at the end of that Sinners performance, Misty Copeland, who was used by Timothy Chalamet during the promo of that stupid movie. I'm sorry, it's not stupid movie, because it's not, there's no offense to the people that created that movie. But he had used her. Well, Sinners incorporated her at the end in their performance. So that had to be just a icing on the cake. I said, yes, Misty. Misty just had hip surgery. And you couldn't tell. I was so glad that she was able to be there for that moment. So congratulations to Sinners. Congratulations to I know Timothy Chalamet was sitting there like, egg on your face. You deserved it. You deserved it. Foxy said Missy danced so beautifully. I can see it literally in front of my face. She looked gorgeous. Just the way, she's our supreme ballerina. Now everyone's going to be calling Timothy Chalamet. All right. Moving on. You didn't come here for that, but, I'm not going to do a separate live to talk about the Oscars. We have a very busy day. It's all about Married to Medicine. And later on today, I have my live with Dr. Frida will be here to talk about a bunch of different things, from pop culture to how it's affecting your health, things like that. So stay tuned. All right. Stay tuned. Amanda says, I'm glad Timothy Chalamet, I'll add, 1-0. Mm-hmm. Same. The entire movie didn't. All right. His movie 1-0, El Michelle says. Yep. 1-0. All right. Let's get into Married to Medicine, because I actually have a lot to say. I heard that they are not going to have a 3-part reunion. Ooh, I'm mean, that's never a good sign for for a show. I mean, but look, it doesn't mean much of anything, but do we think that that means that things are going to change in regards to the cast? Well, when I looked at the cast of Married to Medicine, I said, I could see a few changes. So the reunion clip came out, and I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to stop and go because you know how Bravo can be. I'm going to play the reunion just and react to some of what played out. Thank you so much, Lori. Lori says, I enjoyed the Kempire After Dark online on Friday night. Had so much fun. Thank you so much, Lori. Yes, guys, first of all, before we move on, thank you to everyone that came out here in New York City for our sold-out New York City show. Before I knew it was over. And here we are. We did react to it, and I gave you some behind-the-scenes tea during our live on Saturday. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. Thank you to Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast for being our amazing host. Be sure to follow her and support her podcast and YouTube channel as well. Shout out to the Brooke Ashley, who's living her best life in Paris. You know, she's hosted all of our other New York City shows. Taria hosted our DC shows as well. So shout out to both of them. Shout out to C. Diggy who came through. Who else came through? Anyway, but thank you to everyone that came through. And thank you to everyone that watched on the live stream. I appreciate you guys. We broke all new records with our live stream. And shout out to you guys. You're able to watch it now for the rest of the week if you wanted to. Some people have said they've already watched it 2 or 3 times. I'm thankful. I don't remember what I said. For those that came in person, this is why I said you should probably bought the live stream too. But I get it. You already spent a good coin between dinner, the ticket, and hanging out. And some of you, hotels. Thank you. All right? All right. Let's get into the reunion trailer for Married to Medicine, and then we will get back into the actual season finale. And while I'm doing that, don't forget to like the video. Thank you already for almost 150 likes. We also have a couple of super chats already. I appreciate that, guys. Be sure to share the live. We normally recap Married to Medicine at 3 p.m., but as you saw, we will be live later on today at 2 p.m. Eastern with Dr. Frida talking everything medical. I have to ask her about Married to Medicine as well. All right. Married to Medicine. Let's play this trailer really quickly. I'm going to react.
Next door neighbor that told me about your husband.
No, honey, you need to talk about yours.
Oh, okay. First of all, I have to say this in regards to Dr. Simone. Her reunion looked even worse in person. I'm so sorry. Like, the hair wasn't looking as great as the photo. I was like, OMG. Look, OMG.
Like, he lost interest.
You guys are talking to my ex?
I came so...
I will also say, too, Quad's hair didn't look as great live and in person. In the picture, it looked like AI. So I don't know if they did use AI on the photo, but it didn't look as put together during the reunion. But I will say, I'm standing with Dr. Contessa. Her reunion look definitely is a lot better in person. In the video, if you missed our recap of the reunion looks, I did talk about that.
Off under your breath.
Is this all about the Med Gala?
All the Med Gala.
So Toya brought a sweater with the group chat stuff because they kept on talking about what was happening in the group chat. I don't know about you guys. I'm not on anyone's particular side when it comes to this Med Gala because I'm going to twerk on a fence because I feel like there's so much context that we're missing and timelines that we're missing. It feels like they put everything on Toya because they wanted to see Toya fail at this Met Gala. But then at the same time, they were saying that Toya did not keep them in the loop. So I'm not sure what exactly was true.
That is crazy.
I apologize for my delivery.
Bye.
The difference between you and I is my husband's too good to me.
My husband, we got married because we chose to, not because I was pregnant.
Oh, well, okay. Based off of, and I told you, I feel like the Simone and Heavenly beef feels a little orchestrated because you saw how they were all hugged up on each other during the Jamaica trip. Then all of a sudden, towards the end of the season, now we're talking about like she still doesn't see it for Heavenly. Are you guys trying to orchestrate what you're going to talk about next season? I mean, I don't know if Heavenly will be there, but based off of the polls, Heavenly will be back next season. Based off the polls, Heavenly will be back next season. I did see Watch What Happens live last night. You know, we had, Tyrese that called in, and she has been following, that is her district. She's been following some of the more qualified folks that are in running in this race. She's not one of the top people, y'all, in this primary for the 13th district.
I did not do anything.
You said that their marriage was cringy and it was chaos.
Next.
You're justifying bad behavior.
You justify bad behavior. Bye.
So it seems that it's going to be a big beef between Steve and Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene, y'all, this last half of the season annoyed me to no end. Anyone else? And you know, a couple of seasons ago, we were like, free Dr. Eugene. Woo, 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 Dr. Eugene. I am so over Dr. Eugene, especially this season. Towards the end, I think he overcorrected because of what went down at that pool party. And I'm just like, Doctor, like, mind your business. And I'm not going to call him Eugenia, but like, it's ridiculous. Tress says, annoyed us all. Okay.
Toya. There was some drama backstage.
You always back your wife up. You're very wrong this time.
I see what you do. I see who you are. You're Eugene Bush. Come on.
I will say this. I do not like Steve's reunion look, but I don't usually love Steve's fashion in general. And you know, I love a good Louis Vuitton, but it's a little overkill.
Hey, that ain't right,
So we're
man.
not doing that.
What led?
And I don't even think that's a Louis Vuitton suit. If anything, sir, I would come in a Louis Vuitton suit. They got some nice suits.
Break up.
That has a special needs child. This is a battle that I'm going to face my entire life.
Can you move forward with Heavenly and Jackie?
Let me say this to you.
Uh-oh.
Andy, I don't like the eye rolling.
I'm just worried.
You won't apologize for your wife.
Somehow or another, it became a Eugene and Toya show.
No, you grabbed my arm. I don't know what you're saying.
Delusional?
I wonder what Dr. Contessa was referring to in regards to it became a Toya and Dr. Eugene show, because I feel like she's not talking about the show itself. I think she's talking about the Med Gala, because that's how it felt at the Med Gala during the season finale. It felt like, I was like, Dr. Eugene, why are you like everywhere right now? And I get it. That's her husband. It's her event. But this event felt very much a Toya event as opposed to you all are the founders. You all should be doing this together. Hopefully next season, they will all come together and do it together. It felt like this was just Toya's event. And yes, she was the chairperson, but I felt like the whole point is to bring everyone together for a good cause.
No, she touched me. We are never going to end up back to
So we already know Dr. Simone unfollowed Dr. Jackie. After the reunion, she refollowed her back. So in this particular scene, Dr. Simone is crying, makeup is messing up. They're talking to her. I really do not believe that Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie ever were able to get back to a good place after their friendship broke apart, which is crazy because they really did have a 20-plus year friendship. And we've already heard Dr. Heavenly talk about this on her YouTube channel. She was the first person to put it out there. And the more I watch them navigate it, I think they have decided to be a united front on the show. But I don't believe that they are where they used to be. Yeah.
again. Don't want to, can't do it.
I'm assuming if you are elected, you will have to leave this show.
Well, I'm not closing any doors, but that's the thought.
So this is goodbye, huh?
The way that Dr. Contessa, with a very just even-keeled face, very serious, she's not breaking a smile. She's like, so this is it, huh? Hold on, let me play it again.
But that's the thought.
So this is goodbye, huh?
So this is goodbye, huh?
I'm gonna wrap her out right now.
And it's funny when Andy says that. I'm not sure if he's referring to Dr. Contessa, but Dr. Contessa doesn't start laughing when everyone else is laughing. She's still just looking at Dr. Heavenly like, really? Dr. Contessa is actually more funny than we give her credit, because I'm still laughing. If you came to my live show on Friday, I said my favorite moment, and there's so much more that I wanted to say during that live show, y'all. It's just, there's not enough time to talk about all the things. I need like a good 2 hours up on that stage, but they have not given me that much time. And you guys, you already know it was late. But Dr. Contessa, one of my favorite moments from the season at the Tubi premiere for Angel's movie, she's just like, what'd you guys think of it? And mind you, Dr. Contessa was asleep. Dr. Contessa loved it, loved you. This part of the reunion clip is probably my favorite part.
The Married to Medicine reunion.
Yeah, two-part reunion. Two-part reunion begins March 22nd. March 22nd. Lee G says that Contessa reminds me of Cynthia. Maybe. Tiki says, Contessa, end scene. DV, thank you so much for the super chat. DV says, and thank you for being a member. DV says, Kempire had to stream, but I really enjoyed your show Friday night. It was so much fun. Thank you. That's okay. I appreciate the everyone that attended in any shape or form, and I get it. Some of you, even if you were in the New York City tri-state area, just couldn't make it, or maybe it was too late. I get it. I understand. But now you get to watch it multiple times before it's taken from you. Okay. And sidebar, anyone that had an issue with the live stream, please contact via the email that you got your ticket information. They will be able to assist you with any tech issues that you may have had. Okay. I don't handle that. I already handle enough. Okay. So please reach out to the venue. All right. Miss Rena Bina, thank you so much for being a member for the super. Miss Rena says, hi Camp, Brooke, Ashley, and Watch What Crappens brought me to you on Spotify. My first live stream show was amazing. Thank you. I was inspired to become a member. Thank you, Miss Rena. We appreciate you. And I love your photo. I appreciate that. And shout out to our faves, the Brooke Ashley and Watch What Crappens. I was just on IG Live with Watch What Crappens. Well, Ben from Watch What Crappens, not last week, maybe the previous week or something like that. Paint These Wings. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, I don't care what Timothy Chevrolet has to say. That's even funnier. Timothy Chevrolet has to say, him and his 2 undercooked sunny side up eggs face can go somewhere. Oh, damn. All right. Tell me how you really feel. All right. Ariana says, thank you for the super chat, Ariana, for being a member. Ariana says, you killed the live show, watched the stream twice, and agree with an attendee that we need one more at the end of the year. I mean, as long as you guys show up and show out. As long as you show up and show out. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Kendra says, did you see that Charlamagne's ignorant comments about the BAFTAs? Let that be a reminder that everyone doesn't need a mic. He should worry about nobody watching The Breakfast Club. What did he say? I didn't see what he said. I can't remember what he said. I did see a story about it, but I didn't watch it. Thank you, Foxy. Foxy's been trying to answer all your questions in regards to some of this. Shout out to Foxy. Shout out to our Kings Guards for holding us down always. All right. Yes, GC says Watch What Crappens are 2 funny dudes. They're hilarious. And if you didn't see their Crappy Awards, I've been to the Crappy Awards last year. They put on a show too. They definitely put on a show. All right. All right. Moving on from there, let me get to my notes. Let's talk about the actual episode. So at the top of the episode, we see Dr. Contessa in her Sprinter treating patients. First of all, I liked seeing Dr. Contessa talk about medicine. I wish we could next season. Yes, we have women in medicine. I just don't feel like we talk about it enough. I don't think we see enough of it on this show as opposed to what it was like in the early years. So I like seeing Contessa because I think Dr. Contessa is actually really smart. When it comes to a relationship, maybe not so much, okay? But that's a whole other thing. So I would want to pick her brain about these ketamine treatments. I think we've talked about this before. Yes, we did during a Real Housewives of Miami recap years ago when Adriana got it. Not me remembering. Okay. So she's in the. Why is she in the Sprinter treating? Because the building's not done? Why didn't we get some sort of update on the building on this season finale? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Kristen says Charlamagne wasn't being serious. He said, I'm joking. I mean, I think it was a clip from Brilliant Idiots, and I think so many people clip Brilliant Idiots and take them serious. And I'm like, if you listen to their podcast, they're intentionally trolling people. That's why I never really take anything that they say seriously. But again, I haven't seen the clip. I just saw it was from their podcast. So I was sort of like, uh-oh. Whatever. But thank you. All right. So Dr. Contessa, we didn't get an update on the building. And y'all know I love construction. So the whole combination, I'm just like, what's the update? What's the update? So apparently she was doing like a whole ketamine treatment. A ketamine treatment is supposed to be very good for people dealing with depression, addiction, things like that. I'd love to pick her brain on stuff like that because I did like a video that she posted the other day talking about how people should have like Narcan in their home in case of an overdose and things like that. And she talked about, that's one of her expertise is addictive medicine. So Elise says the building is still getting built out. Probably. She was in the Sprinter. But okay. I'm not opposed to getting treatment in a Sprinter. I'm just saying. I look forward to next season seeing the finalization of the building. Because, come on, that's pretty dope that they are working for themselves. They're starting their own practice. They're building their own building. They actually bought the building. I'm looking forward to an update on that. Okay. Dr. Heavenly is in the kitchen. She tells Dr. Damon Daddy to go wash his hands. And he's like, I don't need you to tell me to wash my hands. And then she's like, I'm going to talk to you the way that Toya speaks to Eugene. She's always taking a dig at these two. I mean, she knows she's filming, but it's sort of like, I wouldn't be surprised that's how she normally talks to Dr. Damon Daddy. He probably just doesn't like being talked that way on camera. But okay. All right. So Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie meet up for their pretend lunch that they never do when it's not being filmed. Just saying. I mean, I think they did it before their fight, but I think after their fight, now it's just for television. Okay. All right. So they have a conversation, and here already at the top, Dr. Jackie is annoying me. Because Dr. Jackie says, she feels like no one in the group understands what it means to go on a trip and come back and work so hard. It's almost like a punishment to go. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the elitistness, the elitist part of Dr. Jackie that becomes across so annoying. Because I just feel like you're not the only one that works. And some of these people have children. What I was like looking at her like, no, Dr. Jackie, no, you're not the only one. I remember working corporate America before this job. And even then, this job too, if I go away for a week and I don't work, I come back and I feel overwhelmed because there's so many things that we have to talk about or cover. You're not the only one. She just feels like she's the only one. Her and Dr. Simone are the only one. No, you're not. And I think that's honestly a dig more so at Toya than anyone else in the group. You know what I mean? So she makes that comment and I immediately just go, what about Dr. Contessa? What about Dr. Eugene? What about your own husband? Oh, is he not building those homes in Canada and the DR? I was like, okay, I don't know. That's why I don't necessarily, what I don't like when they end up talking, her and Dr. Simone talk about what Curtis said about Quad and King doing things out of order and it's not very Christian-like. And I'm thinking to myself, her trying to spin the narrative, like, I ended up having a private conversation with him about it. I said I had to explain to him about, what women need and things like that and how this works. Why didn't we get that on camera? You already offer nothing else to this show. Why didn't we get this educational moment, at home moment with you and your husband? It could have been medical and marriage. And we don't get that moment. Dr. Jackie, you can go. But because I don't believe she necessarily disagrees with him. Based off of the things that we've seen her get caught saying. This season, the Buffy season, what she said on Dr. Heavenly's channel. I feel like, no, I don't feel like you disagreed with him. But you had this private conversation with Curtis about what he said, and I had to explain to him. That would have been a perfect conversation to have on camera to teach him and to teach us. Mr. Mel Match said because he's never at home, Kempire. Well, some moment right before the Med Gala in the car. You know what I mean? I just feel like there is an obligation that she doesn't live up to when it comes to bringing stuff to this show. They just let her get away with bringing nothing. But that's me. Anyway, so she said that she had that conversation with Curtis. She found out on the way back to the airport during the Jamaica trip what he said, okay? And she said, you really can't say that, Curtis, because, we did everything in order and we weren't able to have a baby. Okay? Good point. And a lot of you were saying that last week. All right. Then they end up talking about the Met Gala. Toya apparently corrected the founders portion of the website because you remember she originally just had her and Dr. Jackie, which I didn't understand why she would even do that. But I guess in Toya's head, she was the one who set up the 501c. So for her, she feels like that makes them the founders, but it really doesn't. That was just Toya being petty, but she corrects it and she mentioned it in the group chat. Toya says that she refuses to add Brandy, Mimi, and Angel to the founders. Honestly, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that because they weren't really a part of the original idea. They're not part of the original cast either. You know what I mean? So I don't disagree with that, but I do disagree with her not including them in any shape or form because remember, Brandy said that during the trip that they weren't included at all. And I feel like, no, they should be included. And that was why you saw Steve said that he was not going to participate. Okay. Simone says that Toya should get Mimi and Steve's support because look at what they donated last year. You already know that they are going to donate and be a major donor because last year they gave $5,000 for that bowl. And I agree with that. I understand why Steve said what he said last week because Mimi has said to him, I feel like they're not including us. I think the audience still has no idea. Is Toya actually including them or are they leaving everything on Toya because they want to see Toya fail because they feel like Toya didn't participate, didn't donate the last 2 Med Galas? I don't know. I feel like it's still murky on was Toya just being a typical Aries and being bossy and taking everything under her own under herself. I don't know. I feel like there's conflicting parts to this story when it says no, it seems like Toya was trying to include them, but they were the ones sort of it's all on you. You're the boss. You do all the things. But okay. But there's this other part where it seems like, Toya didn't want to tell us how our money was being spent. Patricia says they are not the founders. You talking about Brandy, Mimi, and Angel? But you can still have them be a part. I agree. I don't think they should be a part of the founders on the website, but you could still have them be a part. You can still have them involved. Why not? The more the merrier. The better ideas, the more money, the more. Here's the thing, though. I'm fast forwarding to the end. So the ticket sales that they were selling for this, first of all, I didn't see anyone else getting ticketed coming on in. I don't know. Maybe we just didn't see that. The only people that we saw get ticketed was Dr. Mimi and Steve. Okay? But I didn't understand, based off the ticket sales, y'all only raised $10,000? That's not a success when you think last year, didn't they raise more? How much did they raise last year? Because Phaedra had to write a check for what? How much did she write a check? Was it $40,000 that Phaedra had to write a check for? It was definitely more than $10,000 because Steve donated $5,000. So y'all raised less money this year than last year for the organization? And look, I appreciate, I'm not downing any money that's raised because, yes, it's going to contribute. But for medical school, $5,000 each? So I did the math for five. Oh, it's $100,000 they raised last year, and Kimberly says $35,000 was the check that Phaedra wrote. Right? They raised $100,000 last year. So this is not a success, y'all. This is a failure because if they raised $100,000 last year, those two individuals could have gotten $50,000. Now that would have been something for medical school. I'm sorry, Toya. I think it was a beautiful event, but for the amount raised, it was a failure. Damn. $100,000 last year, and this year, $10,000. Says to me they sold, because they were selling tickets for the actual scholarships. So y'all sold 67 tickets. 67. They sold 67 tickets based off my calculations. Dr. Do-It-Yourself says $5,000 is nothing for medical school. I didn't want to say it, but you're right. I mean, the $100,000 for one person would have been amazing. But even $50,000 would have been like, okay, that's good. I still don't think that would have been enough, but it's a scholarship. $10,000? Again, it's a good cause, but aren't we supposed to do better? I know. Those girls were crying because they still can't pay their medical school bills. Doctor, do it yourself. Are you a doctor? Doctor, do it yourself. J.I., where you been? J.I. says this is the first year that they were asking about a 501c evidence. They were giving Toya a hard time. Here's the thing. I think Toya actually set them up in a good position by setting up an like a website, a 501c. But oh my gosh. Ali says, honestly, 100,000 or 10,000 at their tax is a fail. We rate at that tax bracket is a fail. We raise more than that at my daughter's private school. I mean, the $100,000 I'm not going to be mad at. But 10,000? If last year you raised 100,000, I'm surprised Dr. Heavenly didn't make I'm surprised they didn't have commentary about that. We raised over 10,000 last year. Okay. On Sean says, I totally agree with you, Kempire. It looked beautiful, but I do not feel that it was this complete success to try to say it was. I wasn't even impressed by Toya's look, but she had a lot to say. We're going to get to that. I jumped ahead because I just had that thought to myself. So we then go to Dr. Mimi. I do like that in the season finale, we get some follow-up and finalization to what's been going on in some of the women's lives. So Dr. Mimi is at home. They're building their new home. And I know some of you don't want to see Dr. Mimi come back. I don't think Dr. Mimi had a terrible season. I didn't love everything from Dr. Mimi. I did appreciate her story about her son and how it affects the family. So we get a follow-up on that. They're building a new home. Their, quote, dream home, 5 bedrooms, 8,500 square feet. I want to see it. I want to see it done, okay? I want to see it done. So they plan to keep their son, Stevie, in the current school that he is, which is important, especially when you're dealing with a child with developmental disability. But they're going to supplement it with ABA, intense ABA twice a week. They said he's been in speech therapy, so he's been showing improvements. Because that's probably part of his frustration and his outbursts is that he's not able to communicate. So I can see where speech therapy, he's able to communicate better. He's less frustrated with the world. So she gave an update on that he's doing better. When they go to the grocery store, he's doing a lot better in regards to that. He's not, running to the toy section and things like that. So I was happy to see some of those improvements. Steve pours into his wife in this moment because you remember during the Jamaica trip, she wants to hear from her husband that she's doing a good job, that she's a good mom and a good wife, and he does in this moment. He does in this moment tell her all of those things, and she gets emotional, and she's just like, I really appreciate that. Steve literally says to her, you are enough for us. Beautiful family. Honestly, I'm interested in seeing the finished product of their beautiful new home. So that's the only reason why I want to bring Dr. Mimi back. But I think Dr. Mimi hasn't been a bad addition. I haven't loved everything, but you're never going to love everything about everyone on a reality show. But I wouldn't mind seeing her come back because I also feel like the show does need to continue refreshing itself. How do you think that should look like? I have to say, I was looking at the cast and I was thinking to myself, I feel like Dr. Jackie does need to go. I'll keep Dr. Simone for now. Dr. Jackie can go. But I've been saying that, and I know Bravo feels like she is the medicine, but no, she really isn't. Because the one moment where she could have been the medicine, she really did not step up and give us the marriage element of that. Of course, I think Toya should stay. I think definitely Toya should stay. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Quad hasn't brought a lot to Married to Medicine, but I definitely think they need to let it go. It's time to let it go. Yes, she has real relationships with the women, but we have a theme, and we are so far from the theme here. And do I think that she really likes these women and friends with these women? No, I don't. I think she knew how to play her cards right in order to remain on this show. But at this point, it's time for Quad to go. I think Quad could do so much in her life and career more than just Married to Medicine. But even at the end, it was sort of like, Quad's here. Okay. But yeah. I think Dr. Contessa can come back. Dr. Simone should come back for now. Unless they find a bunch of new doctors that are fantastic. But if you want to keep some of the OGs, Dr. Heavenly will be back. For Dr. Heavenly being a friend of the season, you couldn't tell the way that she filmed. You could not tell. She said she filmed for 4 weeks. They filmed for 12. Not the way that it was edited. They might as well have just made her full time, right? That made no sense to me. I'm thinking the reason why, again, I said this at the top of the season, they did not make her full time because she did not want to delve in or feel the pressure of talking more about what's going on with her son. But that's just, and look, I thought it might feel a little bit differently, especially because they still showed a lot of her this season. But no, I'm good. I'm good on Dr. Heavenly was there basically the entire time. And I think Dr. Heavenly will be back next season full time. But okay. But yeah, if you're part of the Replay Crew, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the episode and let me know your thoughts on the cast and what you think the cast should look like. In regards to the newbies, Angel can go. Sorry, but not sorry. Who else was a newbie? Brandy, I felt like was a good addition. I definitely think Brandy was a good addition. Was there any other newbies? No. Those are the only two newbies. Right? Look, right? Yeah. Angel, you can go, girl. Again, very much like how they let you go from Basketball Wives. That's true. Drusilla says Dr. Mimi has given more than some of the vets on this show. Yeah, you might not like her, but she's definitely given more in regards to story and being a doctor. Judith, thank you so much for the super chat. Judith says the Met Gala was originally Toya's idea and gave it to Jackie. She said it on Watch What Happens Live. Oh, I didn't get to see that. I saw parts of Watch What Happens Live. She said it was her original idea and she gave it to Jackie. Heavenly, Mimi, and gang just want to see Toya fail. 1 week of planning. Wow. We're going to talk more about the Met Gala in just a second. Jacqueline, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Jacqueline says, I wonder will Dr. Jackie have a package at the reunion like Giselle didn't? Very good. You're right, because what would her package even be? What would Dr. Jackie's package be, y'all? I'll wait. Look, I'll wait. Y'all let me know. Thank you for another super chat, Jacqueline. Jacqueline says, I wonder, will Dr. Jackie have a package to reunion like Giselle did? Oh, this came twice. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jacqueline. What would her package be? I'll wait. King of Kings says, I really like Mimi. Hey, Melissa's watching on Facebook. Not the crickets. Okay. Singer DST says, I liked Brandy's dress at the Met Gala. Brandy was like the only one that really tried. How are you doing a whole Met Gala talking about living art? Everyone just came in a beautiful gown. I will say Dr. Simone's dress kind of looked like paper mache art. So I could see an effort. Okay? I saw an effort. But No, even Toya's outfit. I expect Toya, especially if you're going to do a theme, to go all out. I didn't feel like she went all out. The little art on her face, I was like, no. And just a simple dress. Dina says, hashtag Team Mimi. Uh-oh. Sunita says her package would be Curtis's business trips. Okay, Thailand says her scrubs photo shoot. Lord have mercy. I know we barely got to see Brandy's dress. I mean, we got to see it, but you know. All right. Evelyn says, Simone and Cecil, wrap it up. What do you mean? Like wrap up the marriage? Okay, that's going to be a perfect segue to talk about them in a second. But thank you so much for the super chat. All right, moving on. So Toya and Eugene move into his new medical space. It actually is a better medical space than they were going to get at Dr. Contessa's place, because Dr. Contessa's place, they were getting a room. Here they had like a literal office with multiple rooms. Okay. Again, we didn't get an update on Contessa's building or what's going on with that. Okay. And apparently this space is closer to home. So I don't know if that means he's going to focus more on his own medical practice and not drive to that other part of Georgia where he has to sleep there. But we shall see. We shall see. Toya says that she has been met with disrespect and shut down when talking about the Met Gala with the other women, because she's talking to Dr. Eugene about this. Okay. She says that any money from the ticket sales will go to the scholarship. So $10,000 they raised this year. $10,000 we saw this year. Toya says that Mimi never offered her experience because she mentioned, Dr. Mimi, that she had done this at a previous place before in regard, what was it, Morehouse? They had set up a 501c. They've done this. So Toya's just like, oh, you have 10 years experience, but you never offered it. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of breakdown. I do believe that they wanted to see Toya fail at doing the Met Gala. However, at the same time, I'm not sure. Did Toya offer to people like Brandy and Mimi? Because you know she hasn't seen it for Mimi. Did she offer, like, guys be a part of it? Because even Brandy, who's friends with Toya, says that she felt left out of the planning. So I'm going to believe her because that's Toya's friend. She's saying that she felt left out of the planning of this. So I don't know if I'm mad at Mimi not offering help if you didn't seek help or ask for help. Ms. Awesome says they only raised $10,000 based off of the ticket sales, based off the scholarships that they gave during the episode. Each individual got $5,000 each. Y'all telling me none of those people in there could have been like, guys, we can't go up on stage. Last year we raised $100,000. We got to do better. We got to raise more money. Elise says they sold $10,000 worth of tickets. They raised more from the paintings. But we didn't see that. We didn't see any of that. They literally brought them up on stage and gave them $5,000. Unless you're going to say we raised more. But why would you have that moment without saying, you know what, we just raised more money from the sales? Why wouldn't we get the sales first, then do that moment? Brown Sugar Riri says, Kempire, don't you remember Heavenly said it was a plan to see? No, we've talked about that. We know that's exactly what it was. But I thought because it's charity that they would do better so that this event would be a good thing. So I don't know. I feel like they were trying to, and this is our frustration with the Met Gala last year. Everyone was trying to have a TV moment and not really do something for charity. Remember, that was our big frustration last season. They were trying to have a big TV moment. We were like, where was the food? Like, this feels lackluster. The food, there was a little more food this season, but the chicken wings of it all on that sad serving plate. Toya, I am giving you a little side eye with that, but there was definitely a little bit more food at this particular event. But if you're having a gala, shouldn't there be food? You're buying tables. Remember, like literally Steve comes in and says you bought, $10 tables were bought. Like they're very much like the actual Met Gala. They're served dinner at these events. And I know that means it's going to be more money to be raised in order to pay for the food and stuff like that. But if you really want to do, I hope next year, let Mimi do it. Since she has the experience, let her do it next year. Because I feel like with all of you people, between your expertise and your experience and your DR periods and your money, you should be able to actually throw a beautiful event. The goal should be $100,000 at minimum. And if you raise more than that, fantastic. And I say $100,000 because that's how much you raised last year. So there's no reason why the next year it should be anything less. And you're right, the art, I actually love that addition of the art being a part of the Met Gala. However, we didn't get a total. Did anyone buy the art? I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Steve was probably the only person that bought the art. The only problem with selling art for a charity situation, people might not like the art or not love the art, because you're not buying art if you don't love it. And art is not cheap. The people that you invited, can they afford the art? I don't know. I'm not judging the people there because I don't know the people. I mean, some of the people we did know the people. I just don't understand, because that's the part of a charity event. The people that you're inviting, you have to make sure that not just the fact that they can afford a $150 ticket, because just because you can afford a $150 ticket doesn't mean that you can buy $10,000 worth of art. This is my frustration. You're trying to do a charity event for television. You're not trying to actually do a charity event. Mr. Alex says that, yes, the art was absolutely... I wanted to buy some of the art that I saw. I was like, oh, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Exactly. Tiki says, my Mardi Gras crew tickets were $150. They have to step it up. I also think they need to be mindful of who they're inviting. Because weren't the ticket prices $250 last year? Oh my gosh. I am so frustrated with this event right now. Weren't the ticket prices last year $250? They got to do better. Like the price for a table should probably be at least $10,000. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm so frustrated because I feel like everything's performative. Like it's not really for charity. It's not really to help people. And $5,000 for medical school, although helpful, it's not even covering a semester, if we're going to be honest. Exactly. Marika says this event was for the show, which makes me give them a side eye because you guys are in the medical community and this should be a real issue for you. Now it just comes across performative. Exactly. Belle of the Ball says chicken wings and gala should not be in the same sentence. I mean, even if it is, at least let the other food be beautiful. Just the whole presentation wasn't great. I like the setup that Toya had in regards to the art and the room, but the outfits were lackluster. The ticket prices didn't make sense. I've jumped ahead. I've jumped way ahead, but this is all about the Med Gala. This is all about Married to Medicine Season 12 finale. If you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And if you're listening to this on the Kempire podcast, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. All right. Oh, damn. Ariana says, med school for my cousin cost $210,000. It's expensive. It's very expensive. If anything, maybe I can buy the books. Maybe buy the book. I mean, look, again, $5,000 is $5,000 more than the individuals had. However, with the means and opportunity that these folks have, they could definitely do better. They could do better. But anyway. All right. Honestly, we could have had them bidding on the art. We could have had that be a part of this episode. How much did they raise for the art? What's going on? But remember, Toya said that the ticket sales were going to be the money for the scholarship. Were the art sales going to pay for the Med Gala? Oh my God. What is happening? What is happening? Hey, Freddie. Guys, we're almost at 400 likes. Be sure to like the video. Charge, thank you so much for the super chat. Charge says, they are trying to prove a point and missing the significance of fundraising. Exactly. And it's disappointing because it makes me look at them when they do like their medical give backs during the season. I'm like, is that all performative too? Maybe it is. Ms. B. Wood says, beautiful space and beautiful art. That's it. Yeah. Miss P says that last year Phaedra only had to pay $64,000 or less, I think. Something like that. And even then I felt like, well, Phaedra shouldn't have to put all that money out. If you did a good fundraiser, all of that could have just happened from the fundraiser, from the gala. All right. I'll get back to the gala in a second. I'm jumping around. But anyway, so Toya and Eugene, they're moving into this office. They're talking about the gala. She's talking about her frustration. Then Eugene is talking about his frustration. We don't see any of the other husbands really talking about the Med Gala or this group. So Eugene says that that if they're not going to offer something helpful, then they need to shut up. I'm just looking at you, Eugene, like, you're the only husband that's so involved. And I get it. It's a good thing to be involved and try to help your wife make this Met Gala happen. But he's like, if they're not going to offer anything helpful, then shut up. He says that unless someone has bought a ticket, then they shouldn't be let in. So this is already going to set us up for the tomfoolery that happens at this charity event. So that was his pettiness, because you saw he was the one that came to the door. All right. In another scene, Dr. Heavenly is on FaceTime with Dr. Mimi. And Heavenly is talking about how Toya has been difficult during this process. She says there's been a lot of back and forth in the group chat where we don't see everything that's in the group chat. They're just showing us little, not even screenshots, just some of the things that people are saying on the screen. Okay. Toya apparently changed the venue and didn't tell them what was going on. So this is where I'm like, I'm not on anyone's particular side because I do see some fault with Toya and how she handled this. But you changed the venue right before the gala? All right. Apparently they only found out where the gala was 48 hours before, according to Dr. Contessa. Like, how are you buying tickets if you don't know where a location is? That's a very, very valid point. Mimi, who has experience in fundraising, 10 years of experience, she's like, well, if you have a 501c, you should have a board. You should be having committees. You should have budget meetings. And she brings a lot of valid points. But do I believe that Mimi was asked to help? No, I don't. I really don't, no matter how you feel about Dr. Mimi. I don't feel like Toya likes Mimi and did not involve Mimi. Just saying. But very valid questions. Very valid questions. Then, before we get back to the Med Gala, we have that scene because this is a finalization of one of the biggest storylines of the season, and that is Dr. Simone and Cecil and their children. So they have another dinner. This time the dinner does not go left. So Simone talks about that she's been having conversations with Cecil. You know, sometimes they've been a little heated, those conversations, but they've been having the conversations, okay? Simone says that she owes Michael an apology for saying that she's done with him. And I'm not saying that parents shouldn't be able to apologize to their children. As a child raised by Jamaican parents, and I'm sure anyone else, you would have loved it if one of your parents apologized to you. However, I can probably say that we didn't do anything wrong, right? We didn't do anything wrong. Michael definitely did stuff wrong here. Between the spending, between the disrespect, between the expectations, and you see that your mother is struggling. Okay? So she apologizes, but Michael does apologize to his mother for cursing and the overall tone of the situation. Cecil says that he was wrong, all right, and because he didn't step up and support Simone when she was hurting. I'm like, okay, and look, I'm not going to say what I said at the top of the season. We were definitely on Dr. Simone's side. At this particular point, I'm thinking Dr. Simone created this as a storyline. Because I don't see where the work has been done But maybe because we're watching an edited show that we're missing that particular part. I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I believe that Dr. Simone really has been frustrated with Cecil not supporting her. There has been examples of this throughout their marriage. I feel like he's just showing up now to support because it's a storyline. But okay. Dina says Michael apologized for cursing but continues to curse. I think cursing at his mom, he meant. So Michael says, his whole goal in life is to make more money than his parents and that he'd be able to take care of them at some particular point. I can appreciate that, but here's the thing with Michael and Miles, who was very mute during this whole conversation, but I think that's just who Miles is. That's fine. My thing here is like, sir, you are never going to be able to make more money than your parents until you're able to learn how to make money and manage money on your own. I believe him. In his head, he feels like I want to make more money than you guys one day. But you have no idea how things are being paid. You're just basically living off you have no money management skills. I'm to believe that one day you're going to make more money than your parents and be able to take care of them. I'm not saying that's impossible. I definitely think you definitely will probably do that more so than Miles. Sorry, Miles. But not really. You're racking up a $60,000 credit card and you have no idea that you did that? And your mom is supposed to pay that? You expect her to pay for your graduate school too? Did you even do any research on loans or anything like that? I'm not saying that it's not impossible that he won't be able to do that one day for his parents, but it's going to be an uphill climb based on how they've raised you. Okay? It's going to be an uphill climb. But anyway, all right. So we had that scene. Let's get to the Med Gala. We've already talked a lot about the Med Gala, but we're going to continue. All right, so we see the women getting ready for the Met Gala. The whole theme is living art. Contessa's at home getting dressed. Contessa, how did we end up in that dress? How did we start with the dress that you had on at home and end up with the dress that you came, and that wig that you came with at the Met Gala? I preferred the hair, the little bob that she had at home, and even that dress than what she ended up showing up in. That actually looked like more art, but she brought a frame to show that she was living art. Oh, Dr. Contessa. I preferred the bob that she had on at home than the wig she wore to the Met Gala, but fine. But Contessa was the one to reveal that they got the venue information 48 hours before. And she's like, how do you buy a ticket to something and you don't know where it is? All right. Toya reveals that the core members, the OGs of the situation, contributed $25 each. Okay. And that helped to pay for the Met Gala. So I don't understand. Did they not sell any of the art? Because you gave $10,000 total as scholarships. She said that the ticket sales would be the scholarships. I don't understand that. So what did you sell any of the art? Because one of the pieces of art probably could have sold for $5,000. I'm not understanding. The math is not mathing. And the group has said that she's taken their money and they have no idea where the money's going. She says that the money went to paying for the gala. I feel like the art probably paid for the gala too. And those chicken wings. Miss B Wood says the Bob was giving a little Kelly Rowland. You know I love a little Kelly Rowland. But yeah, the math is not mathing for me. And maybe it will make more sense at the reunion, but the math is not mathing for me. Not at all. Oh, wait, before we move on, I am going to drop the call link for those that want to call in. This is we have the reunion to recap, which is only going to be a two-parter. Shout out to everyone watching on X. I see you guys. I see you. Tills is watching. Tills says, Contessa is so naive sometimes. Let me drop the call-in link for the general audience. Not the general audience. For the general audience, I will drop the call-in link. Let's get to... Oh, we have 1,400 people here. Let's get to 500 likes, y'all, and I'll drop the call link for the general audience. Okay, hold on. Let me do this now. Boom. Okay, hold on, y'all. The Computer's moving a little slow. I don't understand. All right, let's do that. And while I'm doing that, guys, let me say thank you to our sponsors for today. When I first started Kempire Radio 15 plus years ago, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. 15 years later, now artificial intelligence has taken over and it's making your website building so easy. I'm excited to partner with Wix for today's live because Wix was the very first website that I ever used. And even back then, they made it easy. So you can imagine 15 years ago versus 2026, Wix is making it even easier with AI. So there are a couple of really cool things that you can do with Wix. With the hybrid website editor that offers the speed of AI, precision of drag and drop, and guidance of a dedicated AI agent, aka the new way to create websites. And you don't have to pay anyone to do this. You could do this yourself. Create in whatever way feels most natural to you with a platform that lets you flow freely between AI and manual controls. Because some people just let AI do whatever they want, and that is not what you want. You want to be able to do and create something that's unique to you. As I said to you before, you can launch a pro-grade website that's quality, but make it very easy for you to create. There are all kinds of really cool capabilities that they provide. Wix Harmony is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents, built specifically for small businesses. Generate images, product descriptions, blogs, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. You even get an AI agent named Aria who can help you build your website or take care of business. Wix has been on top of AI for years, so naturally, they're the ones introducing the new way to create websites. Try Wix Harmony for free at wix.com/harmony. That's wix.com/harmony. More details on that will be available in the description. I know you're probably tired of hearing people say, new year, new me. However, it can be a new year and a new you. Everyone is trying to get back into the gym. They're trying to do some weight loss things. You may have also heard of GLP-1s. Well, our friends over at Ro has gotten you covered with the new GLP-1 pill. The pill is a new, more convenient and approachable way to GLP-1s if you've been thinking about it. A self-administered shot can be a bit intimidating. But now there's a pill that delivers comparable results. If you've been thinking about getting on a GLP-1, Ro might be the way to do it. They have 100% online care, access to clinically proven, FDA-approved medications, free insurance checks, side effect management, dosing support, and more. Ro offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. The new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results to the shot. It can help patients lose 14% of their body weight in a year on average. This is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight plus a weight-related condition with diet and exercise. You may have also seen Serena Williams talk about collaborating and endorsing Ro as well. As a world-class athlete, she also wanted to drop pounds after having children. If I had needed this particular option, this is what I would use. A pill versus a shot? Why not? Go to ro.co/Kempire to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/Kempire to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medication. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. And shout out to our sponsors. Be sure to check them out in the description. Don't forget, guys, we will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern again with Dr. Frida. I have so many questions and conversations about some of the hot topics that are related to health. We're going to get into it with Dr. Frida today at 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you set your reminders. The link is now available. Mods, if we can post a link in the description, that would be greatly appreciated. We did get a couple of super chats as well. GC, thank you so much for the super chat. GC says, I've done many events. People buy art and donate it back. Okay. Tyrese says, do I recall correctly that Phaedra raised $100,000? Well, not just Phaedra. Phaedra gave the bulk of what they did not end up raising. But yeah, apparently it was supposed to be like $100,000. Didn't they present the guy with $100,000 check? So this one is a failure. I wonder if that comes up at the reunion. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. I hate your default picture. I can't. If Quad goes, if Quad goes, the show will get worse. If Heavenly goes, the show is over. Bye, Angel, Jackie Farrakhan, Easter, add a surgeon, doctor's wife, demote Quad. I mean, yeah, I could see Quad coming back as a friend. Because maybe she is a friend. I don't know. I just don't feel like Quad is necessary. V Wade, thank you so much for the super chat. V Wade says, "Hey Kempire, do you think that Dr. Simone Cecil taught their boys money management skills? I assume so, but not certain based on recent events." Nope, I don't. I don't think that she has. But okay. Right? Bell says Mr. Mellon is cleaning house in that comment. Guys, I did post the call-in link for our members. I see our members already piling backstage live chat. I will drop the call link when we reach 500 likes. Let me finish out my thoughts on the Med Gala. Everyone's arriving. The only person that feels like they really tried in regards to the theme was Brandy. She really tried to give us a little living art. But Toya, only thing she did, I actually expected more from Toya, especially because you're the chairperson of this event. She usually is very much into a theme. This felt a little lackluster, but maybe because she was planning. She couldn't think of an outfit because she was too busy trying to plan this all on her own. Maybe? Okay. All right. No, she didn't, Patricia, because remember, they raised some money at the event. She gave them the difference, which was a lot of money. Phaedra did not write a check for $100,000. So, all right. So what happens at this Met Gala? All right. Oh, so Dr. Mimi and Steve arrive at the door, and they're stopped by this woman, and she's like, "Oh, you need to have a ticket." And he's like, "Oh, we're special guests of Dr. Jackie. We're at Dr. Jackie's table." So Dr. Eugene comes over looking tacky. Okay, Dr. Eugene was trying to be livable art. And makes a big deal. He's like, "Oh no, you have to buy a ticket. You have to buy a ticket." So he starts making this comment that yesterday's price is not today's price, because Steve brings up, like, we donated $5,000 last year, which I agree. Like, that has nothing to do with this year's gala. However, I don't understand the tackiness of this all, and this is why people call her Tacky Toya. I feel like this was a plan. They all planned to do this. Not all, but Eugene and Toya planned to do this. We already saw what Eugene said in his confessional. If you don't buy a ticket, you shouldn't be let in. So, and again, do I think that there's a problem with them paying $300? Obviously not. We know that they can afford it. I think it was more so about the principle of it all, because they knew at this event that people would be buying art. So they're like, you know what? We're going to buy art. We're going to do something. Not over $300. I don't think it was they didn't have the $300, because clearly they did. They paid it. Okay? Pajamami says that this was a party and not a gala. Again, this is the third year of doing it. And it's like, we said this last year. I know you guys watch. We've been saying this. If you're going to do the Met Gala, really do a gala. There should be a sit-down dinner, even if it's not filmed. I think that's the problem. They're thinking, oh, we don't have to do the sit-down dinner because that's not going to be shown. It's going to be too long. Well, then is it really a charitable event? You set up a whole 501c for it. There should be a sit-down. There should be a sit-down dinner. And certain people should be invited, people that you know are going to donate thousands of dollars. And you really could affect change. You really could send someone to medical school. But okay. NASA says, not a livable clown. Damn, that's exactly what it was giving. It was the face painting of it all. I was like, oh gosh. Exactly. Lori, we said that Lorianne says last year didn't give Gala either. We go back, rewind the tape. We literally said that. That's why we were expecting something a little bit more this year. We brought up last year how they didn't have a sit-down dinner and $250 basically open to the general public. I was like, no, this is not giving Gala. It was definitely not giving Gala. All right. So Eugene makes a big deal about them paying the ticket price at the door. He's like, that's the money that's going towards the scholarship. Okay. Miss Alex says, a livable clown is sending me. Who said that? Who said it in the chat? Okay. So Steve jokes that Toya has leadership. Oh, this is when he was in the car. He jokes that she has leadership skills, Toya. She leads Eugene. Okay. All right. So Steve and Eugene discuss the ticket issue. Toya says that it wasn't cool that Mimi didn't buy a ticket. Steve tells Toya that he doesn't address women, which is such a big deal with these casts of women with the men getting involved. So I have to respect that. He's like, it's not like he was just telling her like, oh, I don't talk to women. Like, I don't respect you. He's not going to argue with Toya, but Toya's standing there. That should have been Dr. Eugene's opportunity. Like, Toya, let me handle it. Did he say that? Did he say that? No, he didn't. He didn't say that. He just let Toya go off. Steve says that he was going to donate and buy art, which would have been more than the $300 they would have gotten from the tickets. But apparently, whatever art that was being sold was not a part of the scholarship. I don't know. Polo Man says, no gala, it was a party. Lori says, if the tickets go towards the scholarships, then the tickets should be $1,000 and up. Right? Because then you would have raised more money. If it was 67 people that attended, then you would have had $67,000. Right? If you had $1,000 per ticket. And honestly, I think you should. Chef Lorraine says, Kempire Phaedra wrote a check for $47,000. Thank you. That's what I was saying. Like she wrote the difference of what they didn't raise. So that says to me they raised even more than last year. So they only raised $10,000 for tickets? The math is not mathing. Math is not mathing. Thank you, Patricia. Patricia did the math. Thank you, Patricia. Patricia says, Phaedra wrote a check for $47,000. She set a goal of $100,000 and fell short. They raised $53,430. Thank you. So that's what they raised last year. So this year, Toya, I think you did a beautiful event, but it was a failure. It was a failure. Okay. All right. Moving on from there. So they argue about that. And Steve says he was going to donate. He's like, I was going to buy a piece of art. And don't you agree that art would have sold for more than $300 that you just got? I could have just bought a ticket and then what? You got $300. What if I didn't buy any art? All you got was that. I have to agree with him. I don't understand what happened here. I really don't. Charge said, I bet they miss Phaedra now. I don't think they miss Phaedra, but they miss Phaedra the money, right? All right. Moving on from there. Quad arrives without King. King was at a wedding, but she's like, I have to show up. I can't, miss this event. Definitely was not looking like livable art, but fine. She does make a mention about what's been going on in their relationship, I guess because she has to, because of what's been happening in their relationship and how it ended last week, which is so interesting. The chop and screwed of the editing is kind of weird because we should be having a follow-up. Do you guys think that they filmed those confessionals with Quad and King even after they broke up? That's what it's giving. I'm not saying it's impossible that she couldn't just recreate the look, but it's giving like, they probably broke up and they just filmed those confessionals together. But okay. And basically what you saw Quad say at the end, she's basically moved on, and she says it might be King. She was already calling him Kirk. She was calling him Kirk in her confessional. So, yeah. Curtis pulls King aside to apologize. He says, if I offended you, I am sorry. Okay. Dr. Jackie corrects him. He's like, we don't apologize with if. And he kind of said, And then when he goes on to talk further into it, Curtis has not changed his beliefs on the situation. Do I believe that Dr. Jackie and Curtis really had that conversation? At this particular point, it wasn't filmed, so it didn't exist to me. Okay? Didn't exist. Mojo says the other money raised went to the expenses probably. Well, no. Remember, she says the $2,500 that the core group gave paid for the gala. That was Toya's words. It paid for the gala. So what happened to the money? Miss Alex says, if I offended you is insane. Exactly why Dr. Jackie had to correct him in the moment. But then Curtis basically says, I said what I said. That's just what I believed. And, those are my religious beliefs. Sir, it doesn't land the same when you got head at Hilton Head. It doesn't land the same coming from you. But maybe you've been saved since then. I don't know. Lorianne says, Curtis judging, and he's the same man that cheated on his wife. But that's a lot of religious folks. A lot of religious folks are like, gay is wrong. Mind you, they have side chicks, side babies, and all other kinds of things. All right, so then there's that. Okay? But all right. Angela says that was startup costs. And you guys are really coming up with creative ways. I'm going based on what they said in this, okay? I'm going based on what they said. They said the $2,500 each paid for the gala. They didn't say startup costs, okay? They said it paid for the gala. All right. Fine. All right. Anything else? So it ends. They give the scholarship money, $5,000 each, to two young ladies that are going to medical school. We all agreed that's not going to be enough. I hope at the reunion that we find out they raised a lot more than they did last year. If not, this was a failure. Okay? All right, a failure. But okay, let's get to our callers because, like I said, I will be live again at 2 p.m. Eastern with Dr. Frida. Dr. Frida will be here answering all my questions when it comes to medicine and pop culture. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We just hit 570,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So thank you. If you're new here, let us know. Some of you might not even realize that you're not subscribed anymore. That is a thing on YouTube that unsubscribes you. So make sure you're subscribed if you're watching this. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you've liked the video if you haven't already. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Okay? All right, let's move on. Let's get to our callers. Please keep in mind the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. Live chat, I am going to drop the call-in link for you guys as well. All right, let's bring up our first guest. Lee's backstage. Lee, what did you want to share?
Hey, how are you?
How are you, Lee?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say I really did enjoy this season. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the breath of fresh air that I thought we were going to get with the two new girls. However, I still did like Brandy. I didn't think that Dr. Heavenly needed to be part-time. She was there for every event except for the first one. Yeah, that was so strange to me. But and she was still a major part of the storyline this season with everybody. So I don't understand that. But I do think for next year, they definitely need to figure out the organization of this gala. They've been doing it for almost a decade, if not already. They need to figure out the organization of this. And I think that's where a lot of the drama kind of stems from. If they was to just be organized, then, you know, a lot of the contributions would have been worked out in the beginning. But other than that, like I said, I enjoyed this season. They definitely need a cast shakeup. Add more nurses, add even medical sales ladies. I said this last year, like we need like a breath of fresh air, but not with Angel. Sorry.
Thanks, Lee.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, too.
Correction, they haven't been doing the Med Gala for 10 years. They've been doing it for the last 3 years. It was a new thing. But still. All right, let's bring up Rue. Rue, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
So just a couple of thoughts. So I think the first thing is, I know Toya and Eugene like to act like they're familiar with the finer things in life, but this episode really showed that they're not, because usually at gala events or charity events like this, people buy a table because the guests at the table are expected to donate or to purchase whatever's being sold at the event. So Steve had a point, but they didn't get that because in their mind, they just wanted the $300, which was so odd to me. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that Dr. Simone and Eugene act so scared of Toya. It's almost like if they say the wrong thing, Toya's going to beat them up, which is so funny to me because I'm like, why are you so scared of her? That is so crazy. And then lastly, I just wanted to say that I was so embarrassed on the doctor's behalf. Like going up on stage for $5,000 is like so embarrassing when you consider that one jewelry piece they were wearing each was probably worth in that amount. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
You bring up very valid points, Rue. You really bring up very valid points. You're right. It's actually tacky.
It is.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Yeah. Wow. I didn't even think about that. It's kind of tacky. Like, honestly, if I was backstage or wherever they were doing, it was like, $5,000, y'all. Can we collect something else? Like, no. Look, no. Sharice is backstage. We're going to bring Sharice up next. Sharice, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. Did we expect anything less from a Tacky Toya event? Did we? I did not. I did not. It is exactly what I thought it was going to be from the fashions onward. That's all I had to say about that.
Oh, damn. Nothing else?
No, I mean, I saw Quad and King coming. Like, I had hopes for them. I thought it was a real relationship, but I have my doubts now. Dr. Jackie is very boring. I hope there's no package. Toya and Eugene are a tacky couple together. We thought it was just Toya, but it's both of them now, and I see that very clearly. So, yes, I too was excited for this season. It was very mid to me, but but we'll see next season.
Thank you so much, Sharice, for calling in.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Look, something about that math is not mathing, but when it comes to how much they raised y'all. All right, Jasmine's backstage. We're going to bring Jasmine up next. Jasmine, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine season finale?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. Okay, I just wanted to say a few things. To me, is it just me, or did the dinner scene with Simone and her family, did that seem like, to me, it seemed like it was filmed after, like they got backlash after the first dinner.
Oh, you think it was like a pickup scene? Like literally like recent?
To me, that's just the way it came across. I don't know, because they were trying to just overcorrect a little bit too much, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't, but anyway. I did watch Watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch all of it because I wanted to see Michael B. Jordan win. But I did watch it. I did see Simone said that Miles has 2 jobs now.
I did see that, yeah.
So I'm hoping that with him having 2 jobs, that they're also, teaching both of their sons money management. I don't know if the oldest son has. I don't know if he works or what's going on with him. And then the other thing I just wanted to say was just like that Med Gala, it just seems thrown together. I didn't expect much, like the last caller said. But when they showed the young ladies on stage, I actually did get a little mad because I was like, they're carrying on like this at the event, at the door, over $300. And these young women really are like needing money. You know what I'm saying? And needing the scholarship. And I kind of wish that they would have just put more into it for them.
Yeah.
And also just shown more of them. Like I felt like that would have been getting to see how they selected those young women and all that stuff. I felt like would have been more of a feel-good story that everyone could get behind.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say. Hopefully they do better and not just doing it for a show next year. Hopefully they do better if they bring it back. Yeah. But I don't have high hopes. Ooh. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jasmine. Bye. Ooh. All right. Angel W is backstage. Angel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kemp, I see you in that blue. I know what your plan is for the spring. You about to catch that billionaire with your Poom Poom shorts on and the blue sweater. I see you. But back to Married to Medicine. I can see why I stopped watching this show and only started back watching because of your reviews. And we started off the season with a derby with no ponies. We're ending with a fundraiser with very little funds. We all know that Toya is good at spending money, not raising it. So that was mistake number one on Jackie's part, but we know Jackie doesn't have the best judgment. I'm okay with it being 2 parts for the reunion, and they can actually wrap it up unless they're going to revamp the whole cast. Toya is bad at money management, but she's great for TV. So let's build it back around her. If we bring it back and her true friends, and if that tanks again, they just need to get rid of Married to Medicine because it's not working somewhere. There's a big disconnect, and it's probably because there's no real friendships anymore. There's a lot of hostility and animosity amongst the group. And so that is tearing the show down when it should be great because we love what they're trying to do. It's just not coming across authentic anymore. And that's it.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Angel.
Bye, Kent.
Bye. You know what I'm more excited about? We've been talking about the last couple of reviews. I'm more excited about them actually trying to do this again in another city. Because it would feel like a revamp, a refresh. I'm not saying that it's actually in the works. What I'm saying is that I know that they watch. So if it's not in the works, y'all need to. Because you could literally have Married to Medicine happening multiple times throughout the year, very much like Real Housewives. I don't understand why we stopped trying to make it happen. I think they would do it. Would actually help Atlanta. All right, GC's backstage. We're gonna bring GC up next. GC, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Good afternoon.
Hey,
can you hear me?
Okay.
Not bragging, but I've done a lot of events for NACP, Noble, local, regional, national, and I've raised money, and this just wasn't it. You know, we raised money for scholarships and all kind of things, and I don't think this was really well thought out when it started, and they just thought, oh, well, let's keep doing it. So hopefully next year that they put somebody, maybe even putting in Steve's wife, Mimi, in the lead, who knows exactly what to do. I thought Steve was a little problematic at the gala, only because when they were away, he was saying he wasn't going to be a part, he's not going to participate. He and his wife, he donated last year, he's got a scholarship, So he had already said he wasn't going to participate. So unless there was a conversation with Mimi and Jackie, I'm looking at the two of them side-eyed. Okay. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Thanks, GC.
Bye.
Bye. I do feel like there's a lot that we're missing as the audience. That's why I refuse to have like, oh, this is black and white on this issue, because there's so much that we don't know in regards to the plotting and planning, the money in regards to this Med Gala. Wendy's backstage. We're going to bring Wendy up next. Wendy, what did you want to share? Wendy, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Lord Jesus, I was going off.
Oh. Maybe it was a
not
good
in
thing.
a bad way, though. Hi, Kempire. How are you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm fine. Just want to let you know, I caught the tail end of your live stream on Friday, your show Friday. So I can't wait to watch the whole thing again.
Thank you.
So you look good. That's all I got to say. You look good. You look good.
Thank you.
But I have a question. I'm just explaining this to me as if I'm a fifth grader. Now, some of them did not buy tickets, right?
Only people were Dr. Mimi and Steve.
So how was the others able to get in the event if you didn't buy the ticket? Don't normally you have to, if you buy a ticket for an event, that's the only way to get into the event if you buy a ticket?
All I saw was that one lady at the door. And mind you, I didn't see her at the door the entire time. So
I'm just talking about it Married to Medicine. I'm like, if this is an event that you are supposed to go to, you're supposed to get a ticket to get inside the event. How the others are able to get into the event without buying a ticket? I'm just needing that to be explained to me because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. All right. Bye, Kempire.
Thanks, Wendy. I think, and again, this is the confusion for the audience. However, they didn't even know where the venue was until like 48 hours before. So, I don't know. All right, 22D is backstage. 22D, what did you want to share?
Bonjour, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. So this type of thing is in my line of work. And the event was tacky AF. It's not how you do it. I think Steve said in Jamaica that he was not going to participate in the 2.5K because he was not considered, his wife wasn't considered as a founding members or whatever. That's what he wasn't paying for. And I think Toya and Eugene set them up to humiliate them for the tickets, because if Jackie covered it, they didn't have to buy a ticket. And I also think that the live painting was just an animation. That's why it wasn't up for sale. And that's why they only raised 10K. I've raised 10K sitting on my couch asking for people to give to PayPal for charity. Sitting on my couch, not spending a euro because I'm in France. 10K is not even enough to cover for expenses in France for university, for college. In France, in the public service, even that, the locations, renting, whatever, it's not enough. So it was tacky and they should be ashamed.
Oh, damn.
That's it.
Thank you, Tutu. Take care.
Au revoir.
Bye. Au revoir. Oh, damn. Y'all read the for filth. Let's continue. Trust Love. It says device is not connected. So I don't know if you need to do something in order to get connected so I can bring you up. I'll come back to you in a second. Mama Z's backstage. We're going to bring up Mama Z next. Mama Z, what did you want to share? You're muted, Mama Z. Mama Z. Mama Z, are you there? Mama Z, I can't hear you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh my goodness. Okay, my stupid Wi-Fi was trying to be a hater.
Oh.
Okay. Just, hey, y'all. Okay, I don't know who in the world needs to hear this, but I'm going to say it. I'm sick of Toya. Okay? I am done with Miss Toya Bush Harris. The delusion, the blatant lying in people's faces. You're really going to compare last year $53,000 raised to $1,000 and say it was the same as a success? Toya, stop it. You're similar to this administration standing in our face and telling us that groceries are cheaper we can get a piece of chicken and broccoli for less than $3. Like, we crazy. Like, we don't shop every week and we don't see these prices. Do not stand in our face and tell that daggone lie, Toya. You know that's wrong. I used to really feel bad for Eugene. He is part of the problem, y'all. If we never realized it before, Eugene is part of the problem. A huge reason why Toya is the way she is because of Eugene. He is an enabler. He said excuse after excuse. When he saw her refuse to pay $2,500 last year, she refused. And she had the nerve to say about Mimi and Steve, you know what, they should have just donated. It should have been more important for the cause. It wasn't important for the cause for you last year, and y'all all agreed on $2,500. You didn't even have to do nothing. All you had to do was show up, and you refused to donate. But you're going to look bad at Mimi and Steve because you didn't include them, so they decided to keep their dollar bills, and they paid for $5,000 for a bowl. Toya, just like Angel on Potomac, you fumbled the bag, girl. This was your chance to show us the type of event planner you was. This is your chance to show us, you know what? I can pull stuff together at the last minute and it doesn't look tacky. It doesn't look like somebody rented out a center and made the plans the next day. Toya, you fumbled the bag, girl. This was your chance to show us what you got. And we see what you got. 24 hours later, we get the address. People showing up, don't know if they got to buy tickets, don't buy tickets. Over 50% of money less raised than last year. Fumble. Toya, girl.
Please. All right, Mama Z. I gotta go. Mama Z, there's a line.
Y'all, sorry, y'all.
Thanks, Mama Z. Bye. Respect the timer, y'all. We got a long line. Last week, y'all didn't want to show up for Married to Medicine, but now it's a line backstage. All right, Elise is backstage. We're going to bring Elise up next. Elise, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
It's good. So last year's Met Gala, they were in the hole by over $15,000 for the planning, and they didn't even have fold-up chairs. And then Jackie wanted to originally pledge $25,000 to the charity, well, for the guy's husband or wife or whatever. And Phaedra was like, no, we can do 100K. Phaedra hadn't even sold any tickets. That's why they had to open it up to the public in order to let people in. So they didn't raise that money ahead of time. They rose that money at the event, and it was $53,000, and they were still in the hole from the planning. And so I'm thinking this year, they didn't want to pre-pledge an amount. They were just going to go strictly off of how many tickets were sold. And based on judgment from last year, Toya sold more tickets than Phaedra did. And so the money raised, we don't know how much money was raised this year, but hopefully next year, the money that they raise will go into next year's. But that's pretty much it, except Eugenia and Stevia are two in the same pod. But that's all. Bye.
Bye. And we're going to see it at the reunion based off the reunion trailer. Love Con Peace is backstage. We're going to bring Love Con Peace up next. Love Con Peace, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine's season finale?
Hello, Lavender husband. A few thoughts. I mean, I did not catch the whole live, so my bad. But
that's okay.
I do want to disagree with what like a few callers, what the caller said like 2-3 calls ago about like what is $5,000 supposed to do. I'm a single mother of 4, so if somebody wrote me $1,000 check, and I was in nursing school and it's very expensive, so it doesn't matter if somebody writes you a $500 check. That helps people. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Mimi. I feel like she's just, I don't know what her obsession is with Toya, but I think that Toya, her problem is because they have always been so hard on her, so it was messed up to kind of, for them to do that, to kind of see her fail. I think she really hadn't got over that, like how they treated Quad, you know, in the beginning, because they were saying like Quad was ghetto and this, that, and the other. So I think it's insulting, and I don't fault Eugene for taking up for his wife, because he should. Like, Damon, you need to put your wife in check a lot of the time. But okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Bye.
Thanks, Love Con Peace. All right. Kimberly's backstage. We're gonna bring Kimberly up next. Oh wait, hold on, Cynthia. When they drop out, it moves the line. There we go. Kimberly, what did you want to share? Kimberly, you're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you guys. I just want to say I'm in a blizzard in Wisconsin, and I'm walking into a doctor's appointment. But what I want to tell you literally is I agree. I guess maybe psychotherapists in me, and I know this is TV, but I want to say that I think that that Toya is ridiculous, because how are you going to turn down money? I mean, I know it's for TV, but what about, I'm really thinking about the students and the income. Somebody who paid $5,000 last year, and like you said, he could have come in here and bought one of these of art. You talk about, I think there's a lot of jealousy going on. And I'm just like, what about forgetting all the TV stuff and what you're really doing for these kids? And it made me mad, these students. It made me angry as a Black professional of what was going on in this world, that they couldn't put aside, your little petty, whatever stupid TV stuff, and raise this money. Because I think Steve would have went up there and done stuff. Someone paid $5,000 for a bowl? Come on now. And you're going to just... I didn't like it. I got to go to the doctor, but I had to say that. Bye.
Thanks, Kimberly. Bye. Stay safe. Woo! First of all, shout out to the lady that came from Wisconsin to the New York City show. Did she make it back safely? Let us know. She came all the way from Wisconsin to the New York City show on Friday, but I think she left. I think she was leaving on Sunday, or if not, yes, on Saturday. Hopefully she made it back before this storm. Lord have mercy. And here in New York, I woke up, I looked out the window, I couldn't even see in front. Like I couldn't see a building, couldn't see anything. I was like, what is going on? All right. Let's bring up Cynthia next. Cynthia, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
Great show on Friday, and you look good, too. I like that suit. You were wearing that suit.
Thank you.
And King was wearing that suit last night, too. King is a nice-looking guy.
He is.
This was a good season, though. I'm not going to lie. It was better than last season, in my opinion. Kempire, I know you may not agree with me. I think Quad should come back because, I know it's two different. The Real Housewives, Giselle Bryant is not a wife. Ashley's not a wife. So, that's just how I compared the two. Honestly, I think that Toya and Eugene, they were looking for a moment with Mimi and her husband, and they met their match. They met their match, and that's it, Kempire.
All right, thanks.
Great season.
Take care. It don't take a lot for Cynthia. Cynthia loves it all. All right, Cynthia loves it all. All right, let's bring up Brittany next. Brittany, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me well?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh my gosh, hi. This is my first time calling in, so I'm super excited. I loved your show on Friday, so props to that. So I wasn't able to catch
Oh, that wasn't you. Sorry.
I wasn't able to catch this week's episode, but hearing from everything that you're saying, I can't wait. And something I thought about is that I'm really excited for the reunion, especially for the portion where all the husbands come on. That looks tea. Yeah. And it made me think about how on the Real Housewives reunions, we haven't been getting like a husband section. And it makes sense because seasons we're not had husbands, but especially for Potomac, like I would have loved to see Eddie, Bobby, maybe Timo would have came on, like, those husbands. Like, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that like crazy. Like, where are the husbands? Because the Married to Medicine husbands, they always got something to say. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Thanks, Brittany, for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's bring up Shelly next. Shelly, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine season finale?
Hello, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I just want to say this. I cannot stand Toya and Eugene Bush. Those two, oh my God, they get on my nerves. They get on my nerves. They get on my nerves. Toya, I don't know what it is with Toya. I just want to understand how she processes things, because she can call everybody out, but with her, she will always try to slide her from taking accountability, but this, but that, but that, but this. It annoys me so much, because if you can call out other people, how can you not self-reflect and look inside and check your own behavior? But besides that, Steve and Mimi, I like them. I get why they have an issue with Toya and Eugene, but at the same time, they should have just paid the ticket. I understand it, but they should have just paid the ticket.
They did, though.
Honestly, they did.
They eventually did. You see them paying the late. You just see them.
Okay, that's all I had to say. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shelly. Take care. All right. Let me bring up Pageant Bobby next. Pageant Bobby, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine? Great seeing you on Friday.
Wonderful seeing you again as well. And everybody that was there, the gentleman that was sitting next to me was from Detroit, Orange Sorbet, and he made it home safely.
Oh, yeah. Orange Sorbet didn't come to the meet and greet.
He did not, but he did. He was sitting with me and he made it home safely.
Okay.
So this, cute little party, which really wasn't cute, certainly wasn't a gala. I mean, listen, speaking, I can really get down into the decor that was also very cheap looking as well. But even in the edits, Toya kept saying, well, they, should have given it to me, and it's about me. This is not about a fundraiser. Listen, non-mega churches give, $2,500 to $5,000 for their, freshmen going off to school, which is great. But if you're talking about a Med Gala, the expectation is of something a little bit more substantial, right? This woman had a party about, getting her first Birkin. Let's put things into context. All right. So I think that listen, I was not surprised at what I saw. I mean, her face painting, I guess they had a face painter in the back for the children, or this was, what are we doing here? And what kind of, what are we reflecting here, right? It's just for the show. It is absolutely just for the show. They actually could have a great foundation that could help other medical students of color. And that's all I have to say. You're beautiful. Love the community and have a great day.
But technically, what's real is that 501c, so it better not be just for the show.
Well, it's probably not ineffective, but okay.
Thanks, Patrick Bobby. Take care. Bye. That made me giggle. Ooh, Lord. Tacky. All right, let me go, because we have a few more people backstage. All right, let's bring up Demi next. Demi, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Good morning. Well, afternoon, actually. Excuse me. My day just got started, so afternoon. Well, a couple things. I definitely agree with you about your point about why wasn't that scene filmed, alleged scene between Jackie and her husband. I don't believe it happens either, and I do feel like she does have those unfortunate sentiments as well. I definitely do. I don't want to see her on the show. I don't feel fulfilled by her as far as what she is supposed to represent and how we've upheld her. I think it's time, because you can't tell me there's not another, if you want to go with older Black female OBGYN in Atlanta that can be more responsible. I'd rather see that, a new face. I didn't get any substance out of this season overall, but I really did appreciate Dr. Mimi and Steve's complete storyline.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see them back next season. Outside of that, I don't really have any other change. Well, outside of Angel, I don't have any other changes outside of Angel, of course. But looking forward to your review of the reunion.
Thank you so much, Demi. Take care. Oh, that was like perfect timing. Blessed Jess is backstage. We're going to bring Blessed Jess up next. Blessed Jess, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that I think the original event that the doctors used to have was Doctors on the Dock, and that was an event by Mariah. So I think that they recently came up with the Med Gala in order to sort of replace that as the end of the season event.
Yes.
And of course, because they can't do Mariah's event, they can't take credit for that without her being there because that would just be wrong. And so I think, and I was also going to say that I feel that they should have fought harder for Married to Medicine DC, because I remember Neko was supposed to be about part of that show. Dr. Alicia was supposed to be a part of that show. And I think like in the DMV, there's so many doctors around in this area, and they all kind of like have like their own like clique in a
world.
Way. They all attend each other's events and everything. So I feel like had they continued with it, we wouldn't have to. We kind of see Married to Medicine, the Atlanta official, like just kind of step that up a little bit more, because I feel like right now they have nothing to compare it to. It's kind of like there was only Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and there was no other thing to compare it to. But that's it.
Thanks, Bless Jess. Take care. Very good, valid points. All right, let's bring up Regina next. Regina, what did you want to share?
My Kempire, it's been a while. I've been living that life. Anyway,
I know that's right.
Reading from sunny Southern California, where we will be hitting 100 this week.
100?
Yes, we will be in the hundreds by the end of the week. So
what part of California?
Southern California.
Oh God, no. I mean, all right, Mother Nature. Like, I want warmer weather, but not that hot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Well.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, what I was going to say about Married to Medicine, oh my goodness. In the words of Miss Sutton Strack, perhaps Toya and Eugene should pick on somebody whose purse fits their lifestyle when it comes to men.
Wow.
Just saying. To Mimi and Steve. What did we expect? This seems like it's not a legitimate charity function that they perform. I've been to multiple charity functions. I've given to charity. I've been on a board or two. And this is just not something, you could tell, this is nothing that they are accustomed to, and it's not real. So that's all I wanted to say. Have a great day.
Thanks, Regina. Take care. Stay cool.
Bye.
Yeah, it'll be hot over there. Look, Letty says, yeah, hey, I'm in Los Angeles too. Gonna be hot this week. Wow. What is going on, Mother Nature? This is kind of crazy. That's kind of fast to be that hot. Lord. And it doesn't really get hot like that in LA, right? It gets hot, but 100 degrees? All right, let me move on. April Aries will be our last caller. April, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hi, good afternoon, Kempire. I just want to say thank you so much for the content of the weekend. You definitely cheered me up when I had to go to work. I was listening to your stuff. I was like, okay, get through the day.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. With Married to Medicine, I feel like Dr. Jackie and Curtis deserve each other. And you're one of the few bald men that I trust, because no bald man that cheated on his wife in Ultra 4K HD, yes, is going to tell anyone how to raise their children in the home. As long as you provide, you are emotionally stable, and you do what you need to do, it doesn't matter how the child gets here. And I just feel like him and Jackie deserve each other, because that is just so nasty. And with her comments, she's always been a nasty person. And it's like, group, you don't need to talk either. Like, have several seats in the corner. And I feel like they could have did the Med Gala a little bit more better. And I just want Eugene and Toya to take more accountability. It seems like they do in certain areas, but not all the time. And it definitely could have went a better way, because you want my coins, but you didn't invite me or, want my input. No, that's not how it goes. But that's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the rest of your day, Kempire.
You too, April Aries. Bye. About to be Aries season. About to be Aries season. All right, shout out to all the Aries. Shout out to the Pisces. When does Aries season start? Soon. This week. All right. Happy early Aries birthdays. All right, shout out to all the Aries. But then right after y'all is Taurus season. And we going to act a fool. I'm still in my villain era until April, so buckle up, okay? Buckle up. Let me say thank you, and then we're going to get out of here. Don't forget, guys, I'll be live with Dr. Frida. It's like a whole medical day, all right? Shout out to all the Black doctors. It's a full medical day. Dr. Frida will be here. We're going to talk about Ray J. We're going to talk about Bethany Frankel. We're going to talk about Billy Porter and what Billy Porter has been going through with his health. And, of course, some other things that I have on my docket, okay, that I want to talk about. Ms. Parker, thank you so much for the super chat. Ms. Parker says, Toya had a professional face painting. That's where the wearable art begins. I was expecting more from that face art, too. I was like, okay. Brandy, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Brandy says, hey, Kempire, did you watch the E! Channel's Dirty, Rotten Scandals, America's Next Top Model episodes? I dislike Tyra even more, shaking my head. I have not watched it yet, but I did see Entertainment Tonight's interviews with some of the people that were a part of it. Buckle up this week. I'm catching up on some things. I can see us doing another, recap of it. How many parts are there? Do you know? PSM says, Kempire, I so enjoyed your show on Friday night. I was hesitant to buy a live stream ticket, but it was well worth it. You are hesitant, PSM? Why are you? This was our, how many times have we done a live show? You are hesitant? Or is it just for like cash flow reasons? Then I can understand, but Lord, not hesitant. Daydreamer, thank you so much for the super chat. Daydreamer says they should be ashamed. They know a medical education is very expensive. If you're holding a charity event, make it real and not just for the show. I have to agree with this, to be honest. Miss V, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss V says the website says first place $10K, second place $5K, and $2,500 for third place. So did they not have enough money? Oh, you went to the website? Don't let me go to the website, y'all. I'm trying to get out of here. What is the Med Gala's website? The Med Gala. Where is the website? Let me see. Oh, wait, here. This is it. Wait, no, this is something else. The official Med Gala with Dr. Contessa. That's something else. That's not the Med Gala. Let me see something. Guys, as I'm doing this, keep liking the video. Let me see if we're going to go to... Wait, hold on. Okay, the Met Gala. I don't know if this is the same. Okay, I ain't got time for this, y'all. But that's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you, Ms. V, for the super chat. We appreciate it. I don't know where the money went. L, thank you so much for the super chat. L says, everybody fumbled that Med Gala. Every year it feels rushed. Every year they need money. The students lost big. Start planning the year before. Like right now, they should be thinking about the Med Gala. Or actually, months ago, they should have been thinking about the Med Gala at this point. All right, y'all. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that was a part of the live chat. If you're part of the replay, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the final episode, the season finale of season 12 for Married to Medicine. I thought it was a decent season. If you had to rate the season overall, based off of the live chat, you guys rated the season, like 64% of you rated between 7 and 10. And 4 to 6 of you, 31% of you rated it between 4 and 6. How would you rate it overall, though, this season? I thought it was a decent season. I would probably give the season overall a 6. And that's not bad. Out of 10, I don't think that's bad. I was thinking of 7, but I was like, it wasn't a great season either for me. I can definitely see where there's some changes. I think Brandy was a good addition. Angel can go. Sorry, Angel. I definitely think some of the OG cast, there needs to be a shift in the OG cast. All right. I mean, look, based on what it feels like the network feels like they need from Heavenly, I can't say that Heavenly needs to go at all because even her filming 4 weeks, she was a part of it. Okay. I'm seeing 7s. I'm seeing 5s. I'm seeing an 8. Season overall, 7.5 from Miss Alex. Julieta gave her a 5. Onalia gave it a 6. All right. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comments section. And I will see you guys at 2 p.m. Eastern with my conversation with Dr. Frida. All right, y'all. I'll see you all later. Bye, y'all. Be sure to check out the description for more details on Kempire merch, our sponsors, and everything Kempire, all right? All of that will be available in the description. And shout out to those of you that are listening on the podcast. We appreciate you guys. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. For more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.